This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, the health minister says millions to be spent on upgrades to various wards at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And 2 years in, the Bains and Grantstown MP says his party is still the right choice to govern the country.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. The health minister is discussing major changes happening at Princess Margaret Hospital, including the overhaul of the children's ward. That can include a partnership with Disney. With more on that story, here's Giorgio Bain.
Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands said the government is expected to spend as much as $3 million to overhaul the pediatric ward of Princess Margaret Hospital before the end of the year. According to Sands, due to decisions made by the previous administration and natural disasters, there are now limited beds for children in the public hospital.
We have made a commitment to get the male surgical ward, which is adjacent to the old special care baby unit, as well as the children's ward. Just about 85% of the children's ward was taken out of commission in 2016 by hurricane, as well as a deliberate plan to gut and renovate the children's ward. The funding was never provided in order to renovate. And so those wards, or that ward, remained vacant in its state of disrepair. And so compared to need, we only have about 15% of bed capacity for kids.
Sands said the Disney Cruise Line president and his team toured PMH and the public clinics and expressed an interest in partnering with the Ministry of Health and the Public Hospital Authority to redevelop the pediatric services.
We believe that perhaps as early as December of 2019, we should be well on the way, if not completed, with the renovations at Children's Ward. We have been discussing collaboration with the Disney Corporation, and they have expressed an interest perhaps to help us with decorations, or even structural build out. There are other corporate partners who have expressed an interest in assisting.
According to Sands, the government has started some of the basic renovations of the ward, including site preparation, cleaning, and replacement of the windows. The government is expected to spend somewhere between $1 and $3 million to overhaul, and a hope to be finished with renovations by December.
While we have not finalized the plans, and again, this is a bit of a chicken and egg, we need to know how much we have in the kitty in order to decide what we can do. So we're nearing the completion of that plan, and then we're going to be full steam ahead. Once that is done, we've just started the renovations and accident and emergency, both on the Elizabeth Avenue side, as well as in the main corridor behind the accident emergency, which was previously occupied by the Central Sterile and Surgical Supplies.
Reporting for our News Weekend Edition, I'm Giorgio Bain.
All right, thanks a lot, Giorgio. Well, fresh off the celebration of 2 years in office, Bain and Grantstown MP Travis Robinson said the F&M is still the right choice. Our Gillian Gray has that story.
Though he was not always in agreement with his party's decisions, MP for Bain and Grantstown Travis Robinson said the F&M government is still the right choice for the Bahamas.
The country is indeed in good hands under the F&M government because we've made some tough decisions that I didn't always agree with. But I stuck with this government and with the Prime Minister because I believe and I know that we are going to continue to make the right decisions that will benefit the masses of the Bahamian people.
Robinson first went against the party last June over the controversial value-added tax increase. Despite this, he says he's committed to the party. The Baintown MP, who was speaking on the government's performance in office over the past 2 years, said he believes the government will begin to make more people-centered decisions, adding that over the next 3 years, new legislation will cause the everyday Bahamian to benefit.
Over the next 3 years, the Bahamian people at large can now expect to see monies directly into their pockets. And what that simply means is that the government is going to now be passing the kinds of legislation that is going to be people-centered. It's likened to this policy today that we celebrate. This opportunity to put direct grants into people's hand to further develop their businesses. So it's these kinds of initiatives over the next 3 years that the Bahamian society will see.
He also said that the public at large should not mind the naysayers, as the country is better now than when the F&M first came to office.
I want the Bahamian people to stay focused, to remain steady, because a lot of rhetoric is going on at this time, and it's easy to get sidetracked and distracted from the naysayers. But we can say today that the country's economy is in a better position than it was 2 years ago.
For his part, Robinson heralded the community reform happening in his constituency.
Roofing repair assistance program. We institute the uniform school assistance for the community. We instituted a community health and wellness initiative, and the list goes on. So we had a lot of progress in Bain and Grantstown. What we focused on in Baintown for the first 2 years since being elected was building people's lives. And so we put on a lot of academic development and upgrading courses that allowed people to develop themselves, which will ultimately allow them to take care of themselves. Because I realize a lot of persons in the community were not looking for handout, they were looking for hand-ups.
He thanked his constituents for the many lessons they taught him, stating that as a young man, he's grown tremendously.
2 years into this, I can say that Travis Robinson is certainly not the young man he came in as, much more matured and well-rounded. And I appreciate the lessons the people in the community have taught me. I appreciate the process so far.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Jillian Gray.
And from the Crime Beat, police in Grand Bahama need your assistance in locating a suspect who is wanted for questioning in an attempted murder investigation. Police are on the hunt for 41-year-old Nigel Jamal Forbes, aka Guy Fawkes. He is described as standing 6 feet tall, of average build, weighing 169 pounds with a dark brown complexion. Now, police say he is considered to be armed and extremely dangerous. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Central Detective Unit in Grand Bahama at 350-3107 through 12, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, or your nearest police station. Still ahead tonight, why have one when you can have three? Find out more about Rev's new trio package. That story and more when Our News, the Weekend Edition, returns.